Hi, I'm Nancy Fox, and welcome back for video 2 in this 3-part series, Winning Webinars and Teleclasses, How to Attract Ideal Attendees and Convert Them to Eager Clients. In the second part of the series, I'm going to share with you the what of your e-learning courses. I'll discuss exactly what to teach, what to title your courses, what to include in these e-learning classes, and what to exclude. Now, there are all kinds of e-learning programs and products being offered at all different price points out there. And because teleclasses and webinars and videos are used for 2 different primary purposes, one as a marketing tool to attract prospects and clients, and the other as programs and products that you sell in your menu of services, these e-learning tools can be offered either for free or for fee. So for the purpose of this 3-part video series, I'm going to be talking to you about free teleclasses and webinars that are marketing tools for your knowledge or service-based business. In future courses that I teach, I will specifically address how to develop and market e-learning programs and products as revenue-generating components in your business. In fact, as passive profit generators. So if you want to know more about this, I'll be sharing more about that program in future videos. Now that you've clearly identified your lucrative laser niche for your e-learning courses, you have a much clearer idea of the challenges, desires, and most importantly, the immediate needs and wants of your ideal laser niche audience. This gives you a really big leg up when you're deciding what to teach about in your courses and how to design them to attract and keep your audience fully engaged. You know, I can remember how much I resisted teaching e-learning classes when I started my business, both teleclasses and webinars. First of all, the technology was a lot less sophisticated than it is today, and the sound quality and dependability was often iffy. I really worried about managing technology snafus during a class. Today, the software for teleclasses and webinars is so user-friendly, dependable, and even very affordable. Yet nevertheless, I struggled with these questions, so maybe you have them too. First, I had to be convinced that preparing these classes and then taking the steps to invite and host people for them would pay off. Well, they most certainly did. In fact, many of my highest paying clients today originally came from either a free teleclass or a webinar that I hosted. That's right, e-learning became one of my top referral sources. And done correctly, as I eventually learned to do, these e-courses also enabled me to elevate even my entry-level clients to bigger and more high-level, higher-paying programs. So in the beginning, I questioned 3 main things. 1, would they come? Meaning, would I really get attendees? And how many could I really attract? 2, I didn't know exactly how to structure the classes so that they produce the best value for my attendees and the biggest results for my business. And 3, I wasn't certain which topics would attract the most ideal prospects. So in this video, I'm going to tell you these 4 things. 1, how to craft your e-learning titles. Very important in order to address the will they come question. 2, how to create captivating content, giving fantastic value to your attendees and firmly establishing you as an expert in your field. 3, how to structure a successful course to attract more paying clients. And 4, what not to include, essentially how to give just enough away for free and where to draw the line from giving too much away to your attendees. And then in the next and final video, I'll show you exactly how to increase your conversions, how to transform free attendees into prospects eager to become your paying clients. So if you're a consultant, a coach, a professional interested in being a more recognized expert, or a speaker or an author, this video is ideal for you as you get ready to prepare your upcoming e-learning courses. Oh, and one more thing. I forgot. I have one more big bonus for you with my compliments. I decided to include one more video on exactly how to use my Foxology formula. And it's a 4-quadrant method to guide you in implementing everything that I'm teaching you in these first 3 videos. And I'm going to tell you more about this very shortly, so stay with me all the way to the end, and I'll share more about this later in the video. Okay, so let's get the big question out of the way. Will they come? The answer is a big resounding yes, provided you speak their language. So let me give you an example. Let's say you're an accountant and you want to lead a webinar for business owners. It's a good marketing strategy and maybe even a lead generator. You specialize in taxes and you want to give a class on tax deductions. So which course title do you think will attract more attendees? Tax Tips for Business Owners, or the 9 frequently overlooked business tax deductions. Tax Tips, snooze. But 9 forgotten tax deductions, I darn well want to make sure I haven't missed any of those. In fact, if I could get the Cliff Notes on that, I'd register for that class today. Notice what I said? I want the bulleted version so I can get that information fast. Well, Mr. or Ms. CPA, now that you're speaking the language of your potential attendees, the right people will resonate with this title and they will register, and it is your job to make sure to structure your content so that your audience is engaged and stays with you for the duration of the course. Before we go into creating compelling content and the structure of a course, let's analyze how you should structure your titles. Number 1, address the burning desires, the needs, and the wants of your laser niche. Remember, what do they want a solution for? What is their greatest fear? What is their passion or their great want right now? Make sure your title has an answer, a solution directly stated. Cutesy titles entertain, mostly you, but they don't attract registrants. One of my most popular teleclasses was How to Crack the Confidence Code, Build Self-Confidence for More Sales and Success. My laser niche was professionals and entrepreneurs with service-based businesses. These business folks want more clients, and the lack of self-confidence often gets in their way. Giving them the solution in an e-learning mode was a hit. Who doesn't yearn for more self-confidence? It was a packed class, and I even did a repeat of it by popular demand. Number 2, think solutions and answers versus features. In other words, Tax Tips is a feature, but knowing the 9 often forgotten tax deductions is a huge solution for business owners who are concerned about high business tax bills. Number 3, once you have a clear laser niche, identifying who your course is for is a smart move. Even if you say your course is for manufacturers or financial planners or entrepreneur moms, some other groups of people may be enticed by your topic, but your primary niche prospects will be enticed by the fact that you have a class designed just for their specific issues and needs. In the example of the 9 forgotten tax deductions, I identified that these were business tax issues and that business owners would be drawn to this topic rather than individual tax filers. This is speaking the language of the business owner. Let's take an example in another field. So let's say you're a nutritionist and you want to attract private working mom clients. Most nutritionists would lead a class about technical information on nutrition and different foods. Most people don't really want to know how the clock works. They just want to know what time it is. So here's a course that speaks directly into the hearts and minds of the super busy working mom laser niche. Working moms, 5 healthy snacks your kids will beg you for that are under 200 calories and prepared in 10 minutes. As you can see, you can drive people to your class if you speak their language and are clear with a solution they really want. Okay, so now let's get into creating captivating content for your class. To create content for any teleclass or webinar, I use what I call the bucket system to arrange my content. So what's a bucket system? Well, I trained my mind to think of content that goes into different buckets. So let's use this 3-part video as an example. I know I wanted to teach consultants and coaches, authors and speakers, people who usually offer their knowledge in a face-to-face or live manner, how to productize or monetize their knowledge, or actually how to turn their knowledge into tangible assets through e-learning. Okay, so now I'm clear on who, right? And then I zeroed in on exactly what solutions these folks most wanted to know about. I used the bucket system, and I decided that each question to answer for my audience would be a separate bucket. And that resulted in the who bucket, the what bucket, the one we're addressing now, and then the how bucket, which is going to be our next video. And then I can see the different ingredients that go into each bucket. In a teleclass or a webinar, often it is helpful to have 5, but no more than 10 buckets. And that's why you see titles such as the 5 things you need to know about X, which is a 5-bucket course, or top 10 tips for doing Y, which is a 10-bucket course. And that's what you're going to teach. When you teach, you need to imagine leading people through a process. And here's the 10-step process for you. Number 1, tell them what you're going to teach them and why you understand its importance for your audience. Number 2, introduce yourself and tell your audience why you're uniquely qualified to teach the course. I highly recommend you tell your story as to how you arrived at your expertise. Telling your story in a powerful and enticing way is a great skill to develop. Give your audience 1 or 2 juicy pieces of tangible information that will build rapport with them. Number 3, use great examples, especially simple, easy to understand graphics for each bucket. Number 4, seed your other programs throughout. So let's put a zoom lens on this last statement. What do I mean by seeding? Seeding is where you infuse a tidbit of information into your video or presentation about other programs or products that you want your audience to know about and ask you about. You want to pique their interest. And here are the next steps. Number 5, do more teaching, provide high-value content. Number 6, tell them about a program or product you want to offer or give them a call to action. Number 7, give them a call to action and clearly tell them about how to do that. Number 8, provide more content. Number 9, thank you for attending your video or presentation. Now, in the next several weeks, I'm going to be teaching you exactly how to structure your classes, how to write and construct them, how to give lots of successful case studies for content delivery, for seeding, and the call to action so that your audience just naturally takes the next step that you want them to. And I'm going to give you the details of how to do this. In this video, we don't have enough time to go into this in great depth, although it's a really good Cliff Notes version. Yes? But for the in-depth detail on the how-tos, we need more time together, and I'm going to be doing just that in my upcoming e-learning Passive Profits program, which I'm going to be sharing more about in future videos. So, a few tips for a successfully designed teleclass or webinar. For webinars, keep your slides very, very simple. Boil your content for each slide down to just a few bullets, no more than 5 if they're really short, 3 if they're longer. Ideally, the Steve Jobs method is best for people to learn and to remember. Script it, practice it, organize it so that it's really fluid before you lead it. It doesn't have to be pitch perfect because your personality should come through. After all, people are coming to hear the real you. Next, make sure you give people a clear call to action. And don't rush through this. You've generously given them great high-quality content with great examples and exercises, and people expect a call to action. And if you do this right, without making your audience feel used or pitched, they'll see the call to action as the next learning opportunity and the logical next step. Finally, let's talk about what not to include in a complimentary teleclass or webinar. You want to avoid giving too much specific information or detail. The framework of the topic or maybe 1 or 2 examples is great for guiding people on how to implement the content. If your audience wants to learn how to specifically implement the information you shared, they need to engage you or have the full version of your product. So here's the fine line not to walk over. If you're worried you've given too much away for free, you probably have. If you're thinking you might have been consulting or coaching people for free, you probably have been. And this isn't really doing anyone any justice because no one wants an unhired consultant telling him or her what he or she should be doing, right? The general rule, give the who, give the what, but not the specific how. Now, I'm going to break that rule in video 3, where I'm going to be telling you the how to turn your free registrants into people eager to pay you for your programs and products. And I hope you've gotten great value out of this video. This is Nancy Fox. I look forward to seeing you in video 3.